Welcome back to the Pixels for Peace Marathon. Coming up next is a Legend of Zelda Link to the Past no EG run from Thunder Mustache TM9001. I am Scrivo, and I will be saying words while he goes fast. We will just wait for TM to be ready, and we'll get started. I'll kick it off, though, by saying that any percent no EG, this category is basically beat the game as quickly as possible using almost any glitches that are available to you. There are a few powerful glitches, specifically one known as Exploration Glitch, that basically lets you walk straight to the end of the game, so you can't do that. But other than that, you're going to see a lot of out-of-bounds, a lot of Link doing things that violate the laws of nature and physics, and we're going to beat the game fast and severely underpowered. So, we will be kicking this off shortly, and I will talk you through this expeditious journey through the land of Hyrule. Of course, the Pixels for Peace Marathon is benefiting SaveTheChildren.org, working in the U.S. and around the world to give children a healthy start in life, the opportunity to learn, and protection from harm. If you would like to help out Save the Children in their mission, go ahead and smash that donate button down below the stream. It is for a good cause, and I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it. And no, we cannot DG or WWFSG. Any percent no EG is kind of a legacy category that has existed for a long time before a lot of newer glitches were discovered. So we just kind of keep it using the rule set as it was back in, the 2015 and so, when the category was kind of defined and made. 2013 through 2015 when it was kind of defined and set up. But we are all set here, and TM is off. So if you have ever seen a run of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, you know that it starts here in Link's house. Most Zelda games start with Link sleeping for whatever reason, but here's some voices. Uncle says, "I'm going out, you stay here," and of course we are a disobedient little elf, so we're on our way. So the first approximately 10.5 minutes of this run look relatively normal. TM's going to be proceeding through the first segment, the escape segment, and it's going to look just about the same as you would see it in any other speed run. It's going to be proceeding through the outside of the castle. He's going to pick up the sword, and he's going to go pick up the princess and bring her back to Sanctuary. There's a few tricks throughout that help us get through quickly, and I will call them out as they go. Now, we don't have the boots yet. We don't really have any way to go particularly fast, so the only real speed tech that we have at our disposal is this obnoxious little thing called pumping. When Link is moving north or west, you can basically mash a perpendicular button on the D-pad to kind of walk at non-45 degree angles, but you get little pixel boosts, and you can go frames faster here and there. So you're going to see him kind of moving at these weird angles. That is him pumping against the air and basically saves frames, goes fast. But we're going to come up on this blue guard here and quickly double spin him into the statue to kill him and get a key and move on with our day. As we move through these next few rooms of escape, I do want to remind everybody that we've got 2 bid wars coming up for Splatoon. There's a bid war for play as a boy or a girl, and there is also a bid war for the final run, FFX2. For captures, so check those out if you're interested. I'm gonna try to quickly spin that green guard, but the sword didn't charge quite in time, but we're gonna go ahead and get a quick kill here on this blue guard. And grab a key and head towards the princess. Alright, this is the ball and chain guard. He can be pretty tricky when you only have 2 hearts, but you basically just get up in his face and hit him 8 times, and he will die pretty quick. So we got a key, we've got a lamp, well, we've got a girl, then we'll get a lamp. And then we will proceed with the rest of this rescue mission. So the thing that really defines any % no EG and makes it a category into itself, there are 2 really difficult to learn and even to execute tricks that you're going to see. I'm guessing in 2018, everybody on the internet watches Link to the Past Randomizer is probably aware of what hovering is. Well, hovering, to do this category as fast as possible, hovering is required. So we're going to see TM floating over some pits towards the end game. But the other thing that is required to do this category fast is something called a mirror jump. And basically, in about 15 minutes here, you're going to see TM having to do some very particular frame-perfect movements, or frame-perfect inputs, in order to allow Link to get the Tempered Sword without getting any of the items that would normally allow you to get the Tempered Sword. So between those tricks, the hovering and the mirror jump, it's a pretty tricky category. It's can be pretty frustrating to get on a good pace and then run into one of those tricks and not be able to execute. But it is pretty rewarding and can be sub 30. The world record was actually a 26-minute run by poor little Pincus, and nobody in the world other than him can get anywhere close to that. The rest of us scrubs just kind of hit the try to break sub 30. So yeah, what does Zelda think when Link tries to pick up the chest before her? Kind of like a, I don't know. She's probably just happy to be here. So we're making our way through the sewers now, a little bit more pumping, especially in this water. The pumping really makes a difference, because moving through water is pretty slow. Now we're going to try to get this rat to drop the key in a good position, and make our way to the last few rooms of the escape. So 2 more quick rooms here, and then we are in the Sanctuary. One thing, if you're familiar with NMG, the main category of this game, a lot of the main categories of this game don't allow saving and quitting, but this category does. In fact, it kind of relies on it. So we're going to go ahead and take a shortcut over to Link's house via the select button, and proceed on to Eastern Palace after mashing through some of this text here. So, as far as rupee pickups in this route, in this particular category, you need 10 rupees. And ideally, those 10 rupees will pretty much drop in your path in Eastern Palace. There are a few places that you can be guaranteed to get them at the expense of some time. So we're going to be looking for a couple of blue rupee drops here on the way. And of course, everything in this game, like most Zelda games, drops rupees in a prize pack, and we just passed the blue rupee in the prize pack there, so the next enemy he kills should drop a green, and then hopefully he can get back to the next blue. But ideally we need at least 5 rupees before leaving Eastern Palace, which we have just entered the first dungeon, one of only 2 dungeons that you're really going to see, so... We're going to be coming up on one of the first real tricks of the run. There's a room up ahead that's supposed to spawn 4 Stalfos, but TM's going to enter the room in such a way where it's going to try to spawn the top Stalfos out of the room, in the bottom Stelphos on top of that pot, locking the left and right Stelphos in place, and he can kill them really quickly with pots before they even have a chance to spawn and move through the room quickly. And he executed that just fine. Then got to pick up some arrows, and I do understand that I'm probably about 15 seconds behind the action, so I'm going to try to anticipate what's going on. We're now making our way into another dark room. Gonna have to pick up a key here, and again, every time we kill one of those little squiggly guys, ooh, he tried for the nice diagonal boom to get the key, but Stelphos jumped in the way. Yeah, we might actually already be up to the red in the prize pack. Anyway, TM's going in now to this room with the big key. He's going to take a damage boost off this Popo, go through those anti-fairies to hit the switch, using the iframes from the Popo, allowing him to get to that switch without killing all the enemies first. So, quicker way to get through that screen. Another green drop, so hopefully we're back around to a red shortly. Need a few more arrows here. And we've got ourselves a bow. Alright, quickly kills the Igor and makes his way to the second floor of Eastern Palace. Now, there's a series of rooms here at the end of this dungeon that are pretty tricky. The first one has 2 Stelphos and a red Igor. It's called the Zelda Gamer Room. If you don't know why, hit that up on YouTube and see one of the greatest clips in the history of speedrunning. But he's got to kill these 2 Stelphos. Very nice. Gets the bow in the pot and is able to get an arrow drop off the top red Igor. And then now he needs to kill these 2. Luckily, he gets the... Ooh! Luckily, he got the 20 drop there, but he's down to half a heart, so he does not want to hug an Armos. So 5 quick arrows up in the top right, and then 13 arrows down from the top left, and the Armos are dispatched, and we've got a green pendant. Would have been really embarrassing for him to die in Eastern Palace. Would have been pretty funny. But it didn't happen, so... But 25 rupees in hand, 15 more than we need, so... Now we're able to take our green pendant over to everybody's favorite cowboy elf, Sahasrara, and get some boots. And I mentioned up front that there were going to be glitches. When are there going to be glitches? Now there's going to be glitches. So, we're going to save and quit, and you're going to see a series of things here. So I'm going to try to keep up with them. The first thing that you're going to see is something called Death Mountain Ascent. So he's going to save and quit the Sanctuary, and he's going to go ahead and dash a few screens left. Using those boots, he's going to use A and right on the same frame a few times to kind of dash buffer into a cliff. If you dash buffer into collision a specific number of pixels, you can do something called a teleport that basically will try to dislodge Link from the collision. And in this case, it will warp him somewhere that he's not supposed to be. And it will then allow him to just walk through the screen transition to put himself up on top of Death Mountain. So he needs to get an upwards teleport here instead of a downwards, which he got right there. And now we've just climbed Death Mountain the easy way. So we've got to do some stuff here where we correct the camera. If we don't correct the camera and we enter this next cave, the game could lock for as much as 10 minutes. But he has successfully done the Death Mountain Ascent. Going to track backwards through these caves here and see the old man from whom he will get a mirror. So as we walk through these caves, go ahead and check out the message that was dropped by Nightbot. If you needed a reason other than charity and the goodness of your heart, drop some money towards Save the Children. take a look at some of the prizes that we've got going on. I see an NES Classic Mini for a $10 minimum. Splatoon plus Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for a $5 minimum, and a Mega Man 11 pre-order Steam key for a $10 minimum. So some good prizes out there. All right, Old Man saved, Mir acquired. I believe the next thing he's only got half a heart, so this is going to be interesting. He could quickly die here, but we'll see. The next thing he's going to do is use a glitch there called Spin Speed by charging a spin and tapping A the first frame after releasing the spin and then touching a ladder. It allows him to move freely at dash speed. And now he's going to do something called Kiki Skip. He's going to use the sword and select menus to buffer 1 pixel into the wall over and over at a time to get 9 pixels in, and then he'll be able to move upright a few pixels and arm another teleport. And that teleport will kick him down to the next screen, which actually wraps around the dungeon map, blah, 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 boring science nerd stuff. But now he's in Palace of Darkness. And since he's actually wrapped around the map from the bottom to the top, there are not going to be any enemies, so he can just freely move through Palace of Darkness and proceed to get the next item he needs, which is the hammer. So we're going to do a hammer jump here. Basically, we're going to place a bomb on one specific y-coordinate and Link on another specific y-coordinate, and we're going to use those 2 positionings to clip us into that 8-pixel rail below the hammer. And now we got a hammer. Very nice. And now we're going to save and quit, and now more action. So, we're saving and quitting back to Death Mountain. There's going to be a lot of things here back to back. So you're going to see him come over here, slash his sword, arm Spin Speed. He's going to out of bounds through that clip, wrap around to the top of Death Mountain, and enter the Dark World. Now, Link's absolute position and his relative position don't match up. So he's going to go ahead and use a mirror on the same frame as he enters a screen transition. There's going to be 2 operations of game mode happening simultaneously, and it tries to correct the 2 position mismatches, and suddenly he has descended Death Mountain. Still as a bunny. Now, because of that, the camera and Link are out of sync, so he's going to do some wiggles here to kind of get the camera back to where it needs to be. Wrap the bunny back around the bottom of the screen. And after doing that, he can go and proceed to rescuing a frog. Totally intended. This is all in the player's guide. So we talked earlier about the mirror jump, the first trick that makes this tricky. So what he has to do, obviously as a bunny, he can't lift those skulls, he can't rescue that frog. What we do have is a mirror. So we're going to use that mirror and the warping between the Dark World and the Light World to move through some collision that we're not supposed to move through. We're going to wrap around through the edge of the cliff, and we're going to end up in a position right below those green skulls. It takes about 4 mirrors to set this up. Now, from this last mirror, he has 20 frames while holding left before the bunny will jump off the ledge, and he needs to mirror back on the exact frame that the bunny's going to jump. So he's going to hold left and select buffer, watch the frog. The frog will get in a particular position on the 20th frame, and he got it. First try mirror jump, what a god. So that 1 pixel movement will allow him to then mirror back into the Dark World, sneak around those green rocks, rescue the frog, who's too lazy to jump down off the ledge himself, even though he's a flippin' frog. And jumping is really the only thing he's good at, but he's still just too lazy to jump down and save himself. Whatever, I'm not mad about it. Another Spin Speed here, and the dwarf runs fast, by the way. But now that we have the frog, who's really a dwarf, we can get the Tempered Sword, which is going to be very useful in allowing us to actually beat the game. The fighter sword, the level 1 sword, does not damage Ganon at all. It takes a long time to get the Master Sword, so we're just going to go ahead and jump ahead to the Tempered Sword. Now, because this is a marathon, because dying in a marathon sucks, he's going to stop over and pick up the bottle in the net. Or is he? Did he forget to pick up the bottle in the net? TM, if you can hear me, pick up the bottle in the net. Because if you die in this category, it takes a long time to get... If you die on Ganon, and he's not going to get the bottle in the net. Let's just go. Okay. Oh, he's feeling it. He is feeling it. Okay. If you die on Ganon in this category, it takes a long time to get back to him. Of course, TM's a professional. He's not going to die. So another spin speed here to do another quick clip. And we're going to wrap around the map again and enter this portal. Now, he's going to, as Bunny, hop down here, doing this last hop. And now he is back actually aligned with what you see on the screen. And he is going to clip in here using the mirror and some dash buffers and do another screen wrap, which will conveniently buffer back right. There you go. Which will conveniently put him right in front of Ganon's tower, which we are now entering without the benefit of 7 crystals. Now, you're a bunny in Ganon's tower. You can't do a whole lot else. So if you're a bunny in Ganon's tower, well, the only choice you really have is to kill yourself. Alright, so now that we've killed ourselves, we are Link again. Which means that we can now proceed through Ganon's tower. Now, keep in mind, we're in Ganon's tower. We have 5 hearts, only 4 of them really filled right now. We have barely any items, and we're pretty much asking to die. So this is a very difficult dungeon. You don't have a lot of the stuff that you're intended to have to get through this. You don't have the King of Samaria, you don't have the hook shot. You are pretty much left to devise some interesting ways to get through. So we're going to use some bonks off of these blocks to get through here, and throw the boomerang in a clever way here and in the next room. This one's especially cool. Throws the boomerang diagonally just in the right place to hit the crystal switch. There we go. And now, in this room, you're supposed to have the hook shot to get over to a chest. Now, we don't have the hook shot, so we're going to do... Oh, went for a bomb jump there, was not able to get it. Now he's got to decide whether to go for the bomb jump and get down to 2 hearts, or he might hover this instead. And we're going to go for the hover. Going to check the map to make sure that we're in the right room. Alright, we are across. Still down to 2 hearts, so... Now we're going to make our way through the next few rooms. These are pretty standard, just got to go through some portals. Big thing to check out, though, is he has to have 18 arrows before he enters the Ice Armos fight. He's going to have 14 naturally just by walking through them. He's going to go ahead and take a trip here to pick up 5 more, which will give him 19 more, because there's 5 more in the next room that we'll just stumble across. So now we got 19 arrows, and we are ready to go fight Ice Armos. Picks up 5 more just for safety. Now he's going to fire some arrows up, some arrows left, and then go back to up, and let the Ice Armos circle around while killing them quickly. A little bit different than the fight in Eastern Palace just because of the ice physics and dropping into the bottom right of the room. So we've got ourselves a big key, gonna grab 10 arrows, and now we are on our way to the upstairs Ganon's Tower climb. Now, a lot of these rooms are not meant to be done with 2 hearts. So he's got to do some things here to allow himself to get through these rooms. He's going to pick up an extra heart here, actually. And then use some iframes. Or actually, he's just going to follow the pegs to get through this. But a lot of things will one-shot him in this part of the dungeon. So he's got to very carefully make his way through the Mimic's room. Picks up a bonus heart. Very nice. Mimics 2 executed like a pro. And then onto the spike trap. And then coming up are 5 rooms, which are not for the faint of heart. The gauntlet. And especially not for an elf in green mail and barely equipped. So you're going to have to see some different strategies to get through these rooms without the full inventory. Makes his way through Ganon Ball Z right here, and then into the gauntlet. So 5 rooms, increasing difficulty. First one's enemies, second one adds beams, then you got spikes, then you got ice, then you just got death. But he's going to go ahead and clear these rooms as quickly as he can. So now we got Gauntlet 3, got to take out these 3 blue horse heads. So he might go for that heart on the... There he goes. Okay, back up to 4 hearts, got to dodge the beams. Okay, Gauntlet 4, just want to dash down and take out these 2 red horse heads and dodge the beam. And then Gauntlet 5, got to move down left 1. Ooh! Now that's not good, that skeleton... Oh, very nice recovery. When that skeleton goes away, it can make that room very hard, but he recovers very nicely. And now we're on to the Landmolas 2 fight. So he delays in the room with the bunny beam to cause all 3 Landmolas to spawn at the same time so he can hit them all with 1 spin. Now he can just go ahead and take out the rest of the Landmolas on the second cycle. Now, Wizrobes coming up, normally you're supposed to just drop a can of Samaria block and let that take them out, but we're going to do some fancy shooting with the bow. Left, right. Ooh, misses the right, but that's okay. Bonus heart, up to 4.5. Wizrobe 2 is a very tricky room coming up with the bow. See how he does. Almost got the 1 cycle, but gonna clean up this last guy with the sword and get up to full health. So now we got the torches puzzle coming up. Got to do this a little bit different because you don't have the fire rod. So he's going to pick up the right pot and then light the top, right, bottom, and then left torches and make his way out of the room before the door closes. Got to go a little bit fast here because he had to delay for the fire bar, but he should be fine. And then we've got to light these torches, but we're going to have to do some fancy moving to get around the sparks. Very nicely done. Now, we're coming up on Moldorm, and we, of course, don't have the hook shot, so we're going to have to do some hovering. Hovering is basically pressing the A button for up to 29 frames, up to or including 29 frames, releasing it for only 1 frame, and then repressing it again. And you have to do that over and over while holding down until you cross the pit. And we got it. Second try hover. Very nice. So now the next thing up is the Helma Hellway here. But some movement coming in using the conveyor movement. Oh, he's doing the Dom Helma Hellway. Very nice. Quickly maneuvers around the Helmas and the bumpers. And now we are on to Aghanim. Now, because we are not really in the Dark World, we're in what's called Fake Dark World, we're actually going to fight Aghanim 1 instead of the normal Aghanim 2. So we are at the mercy of Aghanim and his blue ball attack. The first shot is guaranteed reflectable. 2, 3, and 4 are 50-50 reflectable or blue ball. 5th is a lightning, lather, rinse, repeat. We are 2 for 3 right now. We need 6 to advance. That's 2 for 4. Every blue ball costs 6 seconds. Blue balls 3, 7, 11, and 15 cost an extra 6. So that's 3 reflected shots. That's 4. That's another blue ball. Big thing that you can do in this fight is try to bat him back towards the middle. That's 5th reflected, so he is 3 blue balls thus far. He is guaranteed to kill him on the next guaranteed shot. You try to bat him back towards the middle to kind of let him move as little as possible. Really the only thing you can do on this fight, but 3 blue balls, very nice. Pulling on the walls ostensibly might save a frame. Different testing will give different results. It's supposed to save a frame because it despawns the sprite for Link's shield. And we are now dropping into the Ganon fight. 4 hearts, 1 touch of the pig will kill TM, but we've got some fancy strats that we're going to use to avoid that. So we get 3 slashes and a quick double. Ooh! Welp. Okay, so that is the rub of this category, where Ganon will just pretty much one-shot you. So now we got to get back to Ganon. The only real way that you can get back to that Ganon fight is by getting the Moon Pearl and then proceeding back to the pyramid. So we got to proceed through Tower of Hera a little bit. And we're gonna have to get the Moon Pearl, and we're going to have to go on a bit of a journey here, but get to see some of the sights that you missed out on. See Tower of Hera, a little bit more Death Mountain. Yo, nice boom dash. Gonna get to see a bomb jump. That's nice. Very nice Beatles room here in Hera. Yeah, you can go back and fight the first part of the fight as Super Bunny, but you can't actually do any spin attacks as Super Bunny, so you can't damage Ganon in the 4th phase. We're going to place a bomb here real quick. Use a spin to push us 1 pixel away from the edge of the pit, and then we can bomb jump there. Yeah, mirror out, and now DMD. So we're going to do a different DMD. Earlier you saw one where he did a mirror wrap to get to the west side of Dark World. I think he's going to do an east side one off the bridge. Yeah, so we're going to do this east side DMD here. Oh, you can't land, that's right. Alright, so by doing that DMD there, that lets him kind of jump into this weird abyss below Death Mountain. And now he is... gotta find the right place that he can jump down into the water. think you want to be off to the right so you can fake flippers. There you go. There, okay. So he does a fake flipper there, basically jumping into the water 1 frame's movement away from the screen transition. Lets him transition before the game checks for flippers, that allows him to swim. And now he can keep on making his way back to the gaming fight. Now, he's going to pick up a fairy, I think, here in the bottom left tree. Yeah. Don't... Whoa! Okay, there are bombs flying everywhere. I am a very nervous individual right now. Okay. Well, we're just going to go for it with 2 hearts. Let's go. So again, 3 slashes, a double spin takes us up to 7 of the 12 hits needed on phase 1. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now we're going to dash up and get into this ring and get off 12 dashes and slashes. Well, he might be a little short on these. Yeah, so we're going to need to get a few more hits in to end phase 2. Now we just gotta dodge these bats. Alright. So now we're on to phase 3. Basically, it's 4 slashes. To get Ganon to knock the 4 sides of the floor off. And now we're gonna do something called... He's gonna get a free spin out of this text box. He needs 12 spins on phase 4. Unfortunately, Ganon warped to the same spot he was already standing, so he couldn't get the free spin. But now we're going to get 12 spins here. Got the torch glitch. Lighting the left torch before the right one goes out means you never have to light the right torch. So we got 2 spins. We got 3. Ooh, my dude, watch those fire bats. 4. 5. Gonna let him warp again because that torch is gonna go out. Relight as he lands. 6. 7. 8. Gonna let him warp. Let him come back down to the bottom. 9. 10. 11. Oh, 12. I can count. And that's it. With a final time of, I'm guessing, 36:12? $36.14. That is any percent no EG, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past by TM9001. My dude was 4 minutes ahead of PB pace coming out of Ganon's Tower, so that was... Until the unfortunate trident poke there, that was a heck of a run that y'all just got to see. But give it up for my man TM for showing off one of the most difficult categories in Link to the Past speedrunning. If you are into Link to the Past speedrunning, you can give him a follow at twitch.tv/TM9001. I want to thank TM for asking me to commentate. Thank Pixels for Peace for putting on this marathon. I have been and will continue to be Scrivo, talking words about a fast-moving elf. I don't know if they're going to let the credits roll. I hope they do, because it's some of the best final credits music in the history of video games. So, stick around listen to the music if they're going to keep it up. And again, thanks for having me. Have a good day.
This is your flight attendant speaking. We have a $2 donation from Mannix86 saying, is Scrivo one of the best commentators or what? Wow! This goes towards King J being a girl in Splatoon. Thank you, Mannix. Get some sleep. Thank you, Mannix. Get some sleep.